Welcome to From the Driver's Seat, an Averitt podcast for all Averitt associates to keep up with news and information across our network. Make sure to subscribe on your preferred podcasting app so you'll be sure to be notified the moment a new episode drops. And now, Director of Driver Services and hosting From the Driver's Seat, David Broyles.
Hey everybody, it's Dave Broyles. Got a great podcast coming up, but I want to talk about one thing first. I want to talk about if you haven't used all your uniform allotment, please do that before the end of March. Make sure you're using all your allotment again. We've talked about this first quarter. We want you looking sharp. We want you looking, when you're getting out in front of those customers, we want to make sure you're as sharp as you could possibly be. Buy new uniforms. Get rid of the old stuff. Make sure you're wearing the new stuff. Get out there and make sure you're building our culture. Our uniforms are the basis for Averitt's culture, and we want to make sure you look good. That's why the uniform allotment's out there. We want you to spend it. We want you to buy new uniforms. We want you looking good. But today we're going to talk about another little project. We're going to talk about Red Thinkin Rewards, and I got some guests with me. I got Dusty. How you doing, Dusty?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Alaina, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good to see y'all.
You too.
Glad y'all are here, and we're going to talk about Red Thinkin Rewards points. And we've been doing the Red Thinkin Rewards points for a while now. We started this years ago, and it's a way for drivers and associates, right? It's a way for everybody to earn points based on meeting KPIs. And what's KPI, right? It's measurements to say, hey, your mileage, maybe it might be MPG, might be idle time, might be no accidents, but there's ways for drivers to earn points. So let's talk about the Red Thinkin Rewards program a little bit. Talk about detail about how do you earn points, Dusty?
Absolutely. So, we have this saying here at Averitt that you share in the effort and you get to share in the reward. And our Red Thinkin Rewards program is just another way for us to offer associates and availability to do that. So they can log in to our website and redeem those points for thousands of merchandise, travel, and experience options. And they can earn points in a couple of different ways. The first is through that KPI or key performance indicator. So depending on your position in the field or here at corporate, you have certain goals that we ask you to meet. Based on your job performance and exceeding those expectations, you can earn points through our KPI program. We also offer service milestones. So for every 5 years of service that you meet, you're going to receive Red Thinkin Rewards for that as well. And our referral program, we're really focused on recruiting great people for the future. I think Mr. Sasser says that the most important decision that we make every day is who we're bringing on board here at Averitt. And so if you are referring people and they're putting your name on their application, regardless of their hire status, you're going to receive Red Thinkin Rewards points for that.
Right.
And also for safe driving. So every year that you remain safe and you receive that milestone for safe driving, you're going to receive Red Thinkin Rewards points as well.
When you look at the opportunities in there to spend stuff and buy stuff with your Red Thinkin Rewards points, it's like endless when you open the catalog up. It's kind of like, it kind of reminds me of the old days, the Sears and Roebuck catalog. You used to flip through it and look at stuff. And I remember when I was a kid, you'd go through that and look at all the stuff. And you think, wow, I'd like to have that. I'll get that 22. I'd like to have that 22. It's all kinds of stuff. Well, it's the same thing. When you start going through the catalog, it's like kid in the candy store, hey, yeah, I'd like to have that fishing rod or something. There's thousands of stuff in there, isn't there?
There is. And, whether you have 5,000 points or 1 million points, and some associates do have 1 million points.
Oh, yeah, some over, right?
Yes. And, no matter the points value you have in your balance, there's something for everyone. And, when I talk to drivers and associates, I like to tell them it's kind of like an Amazon. Really, anything you want.
That's true.
Anything you want. From kitchen scissors to, a vacation getaway, whatever you may be needing at that time is really available to you.
I think you were there, and it was several months ago. I think we were in Nashville, and a driver had talked about his dishwasher went out.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
And we ordered him a dishwasher right there on the spot with his points, for his wife. So he had a dishwasher go out. Right on the spot, he ordered a dishwasher, and it was delivered to his house, and he could put it in. Yes. Made his wife's day, I'm sure. So that made his day, right? Because he had a happy wife.
Yes.
That's just one of a lot of examples, though, right? There's another one with the tractor. Talk about the tractor one, for instance.
Yes, we have a driver, Bradley Martin. We met at a cookout when we were up in Cincinnati. He was there, and he collects tractor parts. And he was just kind of talking to us about it, and was looking for some specific parts that he hadn't found yet for his collection. And we were able to find those for him and use his points to purchase those parts.
And that's not in the catalog, right?
No. So we can do. It's called a just for you order, a special order, which is what we did for him. And that is when we can source items outside of the catalog. So maybe you've been wanting something that's just not in the catalog at that time. We can look on Amazon, for example, Best Buy, any other store or outside source that would have that item.
Well, I'm going to share a story on that too.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a personal story that I'll share, and share it with y'all, and I'm going to share it with the drivers. You know, we were riding, I guess, on cookouts, and you were telling me this about what you're just now talking about. You know, you can use your Red Thinkin Rewards points for anything, and you can share. Like, you know, everybody knows. I think most people know my wife works for Averitt too, so she's got points, and you know, we can share the points between the two of us. But anyway, you know, you were saying that, and I said, I said, I'm not a big cruise guy, you know, so I didn't want. We were wanting to do something like that, so we were talking, and you said, "Hey, you can do anything you want to do," and I said, "Okay." I said, "That's kind of cool." And got to thinking, you know, Vicki and I like to go to concerts, and the Eagles were in concert at Las Vegas at the Sphere, and if you haven't seen the Sphere, you need to go Google that because it's awesome. So. Got talking to you, and you got me in touch with somebody at the QIC, and they started talking to me, and they said, "Okay, hey, when are you going to go out?" And we gave them some dates, and they said, "Okay." So they came up with some seats, and they actually got me some seats. Then they actually got me a better seat. You know, they called back and said, "Hey, turn those seats back. We found you some better seats." So they kept looking and even got a better quality seat than what I had before. We're sitting in a great place. We'll go out to listen to the Eagles in the Sphere. You know, Averitt paid for the trip through Averitt Red Thinkin Rewards points. So I got to kind of go on a mini vacation of what I really wanted to do, which was go listen to the Eagles at the Sphere. And it was a phenomenal. I know we're going to share a picture, you know, of what we did with me and my wife out there. But it's kind of cool. We actually did something totally different. And you know, I'm not advertising for the Eagles. While the concert was great, and it was great to go watch the Sphere, what's cool about it is that, you know, we'd earned the Red Thinkin Rewards points, and we were able to pay for that vacation.
Yes.
Because what you said, you can do anything you want to, right?
You can, and it's not. It's a very doable thing to do. You know, the amount of points that you and Vicki put together to spend on that is really the average number of points that associates have.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, going back to sharing your points, putting Vicki's and yours together.
Yeah.
We have the Gift Your Points program within Red Thinkin. So any associate could go in and gift a number of points of their choosing to any associate in the company. So that's what we did here. We gifted your points to Vicki and combined them.
Yeah, and you mentioned that gifting the points. We've had drivers actually gift other drivers points because they wanted something and they didn't have enough points to get it right. And somebody said, "Well, hey, I've got a ton of points. I don't really need them. I'm going to gift them." How cool is that they share that kind of?
It's so cool. We had a story last year. One of our dedicated leaders had retired, and he had always wanted this grandfather clock that was on the catalog. And so his associates out of that location pulled their points together and actually gifted a number of points to that, over 300,000 points to him. And he was able to get that grandfather clock before he retired.
I mean, that's Averitt Associates being Averitt Associates, right? That's our culture. That's really what it's all about.
Absolutely.
So that's a great program to be able to gift that, and then people recognizing that, hey, somebody wants something. Hey, we've got it. We're gonna help.
Absolutely. And I think it's important to know that, you know, there are associates out there, as Alaina was saying, sitting there with 1 million points in their account. Yeah. And when we speak to these associates, what we most often hear is, well, I don't really know what I want.
Right.
So I would challenge you, if you're sitting out there banking points because you don't know what you want, go home and look at what you need. You know, do you need a new refrigerator? Do you need a new washer and dryer? Do you need a new TV? You know, unfortunately, one of the burdens that comes with owning a home is that there's always something that needs to be replaced or done, or, you know, something that needs to be renewed.
Right.
And so if there is that in your life, if you're facing that challenge where you have a need and not necessarily a want, come to us and let us know. You can always email us at redthinkin@averitt.com, and we will reach back out to you and start that process of the Just For You process that Alaina was speaking about to help you get whatever it is you need in life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, it really is. Anything y'all want, anything somebody could think about. Basically, if you can buy it, you can buy it with Red Thinkin Rewards points.
That's right.
Is that a good analogy?
Absolutely.
Yes. We were just in Knoxville for a cookout a couple weeks ago, and I met Christopher Gibson. He's a team shuttle driver.
Yeah.
And he actually just remodeled his home and was sharing with me he used points to purchase televisions and appliances for his newly remodeled house as well. So whether you're, shopping for fun or, in a time of need, you can really use your points to aid you in those things.
And I think that, and it all goes back to, okay, well, how do I get points? You do what you're supposed to do, right?
Right.
That's really what it's all about. Do a good job, do what you're supposed to do, and you'll earn points because, it's a change of behavior. It's idle time, and, miles per gallon, that's a big deal for us, in Averitt. The better miles per gallon, you save fuel. Fuel's a big cost. Anything we can do to cut that fuel cost down. So that's why it's important that we measure that kind of stuff and get the behavior right so that, hey, people are idling when they need to idle. They're taking their time, saving the miles per gallon, all that kind of stuff. And those meets, and you're getting rewarded, and actually you're getting paid for it, right? Because it's actually like money. Because you could, you can go buy a washing machine or
well, you really are getting paid for it because when you're making a positive impact and you're receiving Red Thinkin Rewards, you're saving, cutting down on cost and saving money here. So you're also getting that money back into your profit sharing program.
That's a fact.
So it's really a double kind of whammy there where you're earning Red Thinkin Rewards points and you're getting those profit sharing dollars as well.
Right. It's a big deal. It really is. All those things that we measure are good things for the company.
Absolutely.
If you meet those goals, it's providing more profit, it's providing better revenue, and that comes back, like you said, in profit sharing. Big deal, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, I think it's great. Like I said, I loved our vacation. It was fun, and it was great. I'm glad you brought it up and got to tell me and Vicki about it, and that you were able to do that. It was great. It was a good time, good vacation. But it was really interesting that the reason I shared the story was I thought it was unique. Something that we were able to do with Red Thinkin Rewards points. And I wanted to share that story so other people would know, that you can do things like that. But
Absolutely.
Yes.
And if you haven't ever, please log into the program.
right.
If you are sitting out there, you're new to the company, or maybe you've been here a while and you've just never taken the time to log into your Red Thinkin Rewards, let me encourage you to do so. You never know what you might find on there. We're continuing to improve the website every day. We're adding merchandise to that website, to our catalog, and we're also doing some position-specific things. So we're looking and investigating items that are very specific to drivers that will help them while they're on the road. Or our preventative maintenance team, we're looking at bringing specific tools into the program for them.
Oh, that's cool.
So we love being able to have that feedback. If you don't see something in the catalog that you think would benefit a majority of associates, reach out to us and let us know, because we can absolutely work on adding that into it.
That's really cool. I didn't know we were doing that. That's really cool. You can specific things that drivers. I knew we had driver GPS, trucker GPS that they could get and things like that. A lot of drivers have done that. That's been a big deal,
headset,
right?
Yes, as well. That's a very popular item.
Yeah, that's one of the hot ones, right?
Yes.
Well, anyway, hey, we appreciate it, and I think it's a great program. It's a way to say thank you
Absolutely.
to the driving force. I think it's obviously a way to say, hey, thanks for a great job. And then they get rewarded based on what they want. And I think that's the cool part of it. It's not a reward. We're saying, hey, this is the reward you got to have. Hey, you pick anything you want. And that's the reward that you get based off of that. So you're rewarding yourself with anything, right?
That's right. And, a lot of our associates are using their points to do good things and award others. I'd like to bring up Clarence Brown. He's a Atlanta West associate city driver. And I worked with him last year. He had some points saved up, and he noticed a young girl at his church that didn't have a bicycle, but there were other kids that had a bike, and she was kind of sitting off to the side and just watching them play. And he called me one day, and we talked, and he wanted to use his points to buy a bike for her so she could play too. So we ordered one. It was in Team Matters. We shared that photo, and
wow.
So she had a bike and got to play with the other kids, and that just speaks again to our culture, the quality of people we have at Averitt, our associates, and they're not just using these points for themselves, but they're really using them to help others. And I think that's incredible.
Yeah, it says a lot about our associates, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Really a great thing. Dusty, any last words you want to have for our audience?
I would just encourage associates to continue reaching out to us. Log in if you have not. That helps us know the engagement to the program. And also let us know your feedback. redthinkin@averitt.com is our email address, and we're always here to help you. And also keep an eye out for your quarterly statements. If you haven't received those, let us know because we'll make sure that you get them. You're going to get them in your email as well as in your mailbox. And that's going to tell you what points you have to use, how you can spend them, and kind of give you the instructions to log in as well. So that would be my challenge to associates. Log in and let us know your feedback.
Thank you, Dusty. Appreciate it. Alaina, any last words?
I'm so proud of this program. It's really just watching so many good things come out of it. And, anything that I can do to help or we can do as a team to help our associates, we're here for you. And, keep earning those points and spend them on anything that you may need, but we're here for you. And thank you for having us on the podcast today.
Well, we appreciate it. Thank you all so much. You great program. Y'all do a great job managing the program for Averitt. And it's really a good, strong program. I'm glad to see it healthy and doing well and exciting things. So thank you all so much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you.
And thank you all for listening in. And it's a great program. If you haven't logged into your Red Thinkin Rewards points, you really need to. There's a lot of opportunity out there. And, that's a great program that Averitt put together, and it rewards people, it rewards drivers. And, as you think about that, if you're talking to other drivers out there and you say, hey, y'all got a Red Thinkin Rewards program or something similar in your all's company, they may not even have one. That may be somebody, if it's sharp, you need to look at and say, hey, you need to come over to Averitt. That may be a benefit that has someone and helps them make the decision and say, hey, I want to be an Averitt driver. Think about that. We're going to need your help this year. 2025 is going to be a big year. We're going to have a lot of growth. We're going to need everybody out there doing their part, bringing drivers in. So keep looking at that. Take a look at that. Bring some people in just like you. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much. We'll see you out on the road.